Her skin was so pale as to be almost white, and her hair was the color of honey. She had a little harp, and she set herself and began to play and sing. The song was in English, a language generally but not universally understood in this region. This was a novelty, and the audience was quiet. The song and music spread out to captivate the listeners. There was a special quality to it that caught them up, even those who could not follow the words. It was as if a mighty orchestra were playing and a chorus of deific beings singing, yet there was only the one woman and her instrument. This was a phenomenon beyond what had been presented before, and all stood entranced. When the song was done, there was a hush. Then the rupees began flying, landing at the woman's feet, fairly burying them in metallic brightness. All the audience came forth, begging for another song. The woman smiled and sang again, and it was as before. Every person within range was transported. Even the old ones were rapt. Now those of the Vaishya caste, the husbandmen and merchants, entered the throng, heedless of propriety, listening. When the second song was done, the shower of money from these higher-class listeners overwhelmed the prior contributions. Applause enough. The Sudra man stood transfixed, even after the woman had taken up her harp and retired to her wagon and the next show had come on. Jostled by his neighbors, he recovered enough to walk away, his gaze almost vacant. He had evidently been smitten and hardly knew how to cope with it. He found his way to a wall that offered some slight seclusion and leaned against it. Then he reached into an inner pocket and brought out a ring in the form of a coiled little snake. He set this ring on his smallest finger and brought it covertly to his bandaged face. "She?" he whispered in English. The snake ring came alive and squeezed his finger once. The man removed the ring from his finger and returned it to his hidden pocket. He paused, considering. How was he to approach this lovely and talented woman, and how would she receive him? He could get more specific advice from the ring, but he preferred to work it out for himself, as his possession of the ring could identify his nature if it were seen by others. In the end, he waited till dusk, when the throng dissipated and the traveling show was closing up for the night. He approached the covered wagon he had seen the woman with the harp enter. He stood by it and clapped his hands gently so as to attract attention without generating too much of it. The woman appeared. "Yes?" she inquired. Now her lovely fair hair was bound in a heavy kerchief, and she wore a functional skirt and jacket, but her beauty overcame these restrictions. The man opened his mouth but did not speak. He gestured helplessly. "I'm sorry," the woman said. "I can see that you have been injured, but I do not speak the local dialect. Do you know English?" The man tried again. His mouth worked, and finally the sounds came out. I do," he said. She glanced sharply at him, tilting her head. "You are shy?" she inquired. "There is no need to be. What is it that you wish?" The man struggled again to speak. Not shy," he said. "I stutter." She did not even smile. "Come inside," she said. He followed her into the wagon. Inside, the space was tight but well organized. There was room for two to sit facing each other, and this they did. "I do not know you," the woman said. "I have not before talked directly with a person with your problem. Forgive me if I'm clumsy. I don't quite know how to help you." Again the man tried. It took time for him to get the words out, but the woman was patient and did not try to interrupt or to fill in the words for him. Digested, what he said was this: "I need help to leave the kingdom." "But if you have committed some crime and are fugitive from justice, I shall not help you," the woman said. He asserted that he was not a criminal. He just had need to depart anonymously. "Forgive me again," she said, "but I must ask you to touch my harp. This will advise me whether what you say is true." He touched her harp. Nothing happened.